guys, and welcome to the Game Day preview show with myself and the beautiful Pippa. I feel like I have not seen you in so long.
It's been so long, honestly. We're just like virtual friends now. Hopefully we're back in the studio soon.
I think we're back in on Monday. I'm hopeful we're back in on Monday.
New year, new hopes.
Fingers crossed. New year, new hopes, exactly. We've had a good week of football, even though there's obviously been some cancellations. Let's go through the games that have been on this week. Starting with Southampton 1, Spurs 1. Lots of controversy in this game. 10-man Southampton. I mean, I don't know what was going on with Salisu on that game. He literally just lost his head early doors. You know, Spurs feel a little bit aggrieved, had 2 goals chalked off. Not really offside, and we've seen others been given this week. Again, that whole VAR decision, like if the referee blows up, then it can't go to VAR. Pretty unfair, really. You should not blow up and just kind of let it flow. What did you make of those decisions?
To be fair, I've been thinking VAR has been inconsistent this whole weekend. We'll touch on other games as well. I think it was a bit harsh on Tottenham. I predicted a 1-1 draw when I spoke about this game with Lewis earlier this week. I predicted 1-1, but I didn't think it would actually happen. I think Spurs were disappointed that they didn't get the win with how they've been playing under Conte and how they played in their previous game. I just thought that they would have tipped it over against Southampton, but Southampton, credit to them, 10 men kept it down, kept the scoreline down, and managed to have I think they were the better team most parts of the game. But yeah, VAR has been truly unfair to Tottenham, but as an Arsenal fan, I'm not really complaining.
No, as an Arsenal fan, of course you're not complaining. But yeah, 2 perfectly good goals, in my opinion, chalked off. You know, it wasn't really a foul on the keeper at that point. I mean, he's dropped the ball, no foul there. And also, like we saw in the City game. That
was the strangest thing for me, that because I was actually confused at that moment. I was thinking, is that not a goal? Why is it not a goal? Because he's dropped the ball. And then you realise there's this whole rule book on things like this. But it's like, technically, that should be a goal.
Yeah, it should be a goal. And also, if Harry Kane's is offside, which I genuinely don't believe it was offside looking at it, you know, how is Phil Foden's not given offside, you know, just a few days later against Manchester City? So I think that's definitely, like you said, VAR has been so incredibly inconsistent. And there seems to be these new rules that come on all the time. Like, you're like, that surely isn't a rule. And they're like, oh, no, they changed it. And it's like, well, when did they change that? And why did they change that? But anyway, it is what it is. Moving on. Leicester 1, Liverpool 0. I mean, I don't think anyone saw this prediction, the way Leicester have been playing.
No, I literally said, this is an easy win. I think I literally said this is an easy win for Liverpool, straight 3 points. I think I was so convinced it was Liverpool win. And you're always convinced that Liverpool are going to get on the score sheet. And the fact that they had a penalty in the game as well, Mo Salah takes, you just think, surely? A very surprised result there. But Leicester were actually incredible defensively. Schmeichel keeping the penalty out. I just think Leicester had an all-round great performance. Their back line, the Madison, Lookman coming. It was great from Leicester.
Yeah, it really was. And you think about how many injuries Leicester have had. They've had a really, really tough time the last few months with Brendan Rodgers, who's got so much heat. But when you do have a look at how depleted their squad have been, you have to kind of think to yourself, yes, okay, they haven't been playing great while they were still at full strength. But, you know, to come away with a result like that, with all the things they've had going against them, a really, really good result. And that is the first time that Liverpool failed to score in the Premier League in 29 league games. So that really is, that really is something. And also Liverpool are also now back to full strength as well. They had played 2 days prior, Leicester, whereas Liverpool had a few extra days off. All that moaning by Jurgen Klopp as well about how jam-packed the fixtures. Do you know what? This is what I mean. Sometimes it's better to be quiet, no?
Just play your game. I mean, I get the frustration, but it's like, come on, it's just 1 month before you get a jam-packed calendar. But I'm not a footballer, I'm not an athlete, so I can't relate. But as a fan, I'm truly enjoying all this football. I think I've just sat on my sofa a lot just watching football. But Jurgen Klopp, what's the excuse this time? There's no excuse.
No excuse this time. I'm sure he'll come up with another one. On to Chelsea 1, Brighton 1. I thought Brighton were fantastic in that game.
Do you know what?
I really did.
I did it again. I feel like I should start playing the lottery because honestly, I called this one too. I literally said, it's on Twitter as well. I literally said, Welbeck's going to come on, equaliser. And I don't know what it is about Brighton, but they just keep, every time they equalise, it's always past the 90th minute mark. The mentality is mad.
That's what people should be betting on, that Brighton will score, you know, 90 plus, like 90 plus.
90 plus
they always seem to do it.
Yeah.
They always seem to do it, but I thought Brighton looked really, really good. However, I thought Chelsea probably didn't really help themselves in this game. I didn't think Chelsea looked particularly good. Again, they have had their issues with COVID. Thomas Tuchel has also, kind of been moaning about the fixture schedule and things like that. But it doesn't look like a happy camp at the moment at Chelsea. We saw the Lukaku comments yesterday. So that kind of says a lot, isn't it?
And today,
and again today.
The comments I've seen just now is about he didn't want to. He rejected Man City and he only went to Chelsea because of the Inter problem. And then obviously they've got more problems of Reece James being out for a while. And I believe there's someone else. They're losing players to injuries. And of course, to COVID. Now this whole Lukaku situation, when they've got a massive game coming up, it's not looking good for Chelsea, who are at once title contenders. Obviously, they could catch up if they have an amazing run. But it's not looking too hopeful right now.
Yeah, I think that, I think even Thomas Tuchel was kind of commented to say that, we're not really going to win the title at this point, playing the way they're playing either. But that does leave it, kind of Manchester City in the driver's seat, 8 points clear. Brentford 0, Manchester City 1. Manchester City did get that win. I thought it was quite a boring game, actually, that one.
You may call it boring, but can I just take a moment to give a round of applause to my mate, Dominic Thompson, ex-Arsenal player, second Premier League debut, up against
man of the match, right?
Got man of the match, and I think, you know what, he done incredibly well. I know Brentford lost, but Brentford did really well to keep a scoreline down to 1-0. We've seen what Man City's done to other teams. Man City didn't really look in this game and the previous game that they got out of. Well, not the previous game, because I think the previous game was 6-3, wasn't it? Was in that one. But in this game, it didn't look like they came out of second gear. But still, Brentford did really well to keep them out.
Yeah, they did. They did do really well. But as we mentioned earlier, Manchester City will be 8 points clear at the top of the table going into the new year. All 5 previous sides to be 8 points clear at this stage have then gone on to win the title. Are they the team to beat at this point? I think they probably are.
Of course. I think even at this point, going forward, they will probably keep a gap minimum 4 points. But I think genuinely 6 to 10 points, they'll keep that gap going forward. Minimum 4. Everyone's going to try to
Is it more for the fact that, kind of Liverpool, as good as they've been, again, they've been a little bit inconsistent, whether that be due to COVID and injuries and, fixture scheduling, things like that. And obviously Chelsea have dropped off. Is the only person that you think, the only team that can try to challenge them will be Liverpool this season?
Yeah.
We're writing Chelsea off now. I'm
not going to write Chelsea off completely. Obviously, it's going to be really hard for them to get back into the swing of things with everything you just mentioned, injuries, COVID, whatsoever. But out of all the teams, it will be Liverpool, the ones that loss the other day. It's a huge blow for them. They're thinking straight away, title's gone, or we're going to have to work really hard to get points back. And do you know what I mean? It is Liverpool's against City. I feel like it's been like that for the past few seasons, but City's pretty much, what is it, like 5-1 now, or 4-1, something like that.
And they always go about their business so quietly. We say it all the time. We write them up. We write them off at the beginning of the season. For some reason, we all seem to say, it's going to be Chelsea's year. I don't know, because they always do the same thing every single year. They go about their business so quietly, and they just casually, quickly, pick up points here and there. And then you look around, you're like, oh my God, City are top of the table again, and literally storming it. So whether or not they storm it this year, I don't know if Liverpool can keep the pressure on and kind of keep up with them. But it is looking like it is.
Hold on.
Manchester City's again.
I said I was going to touch on this VAR thing. I can't remember who scored second for Man City. There was a second goal that was ruled offside.
Oh, was it Laporte?
Yes. How is that ruled offside, but Foden's not? I feel like Foden's arm. If we're looking at previous games, I know they said they're going to change VAR and all this stuff, but we're looking at previous games. Your arm being that offside and you're measuring the armpit is offside. But Foden stood and Laporte didn't. And I was very confused. It should have been 0-0 if that's how we're going.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, when you compare it to the game that was literally like the day before, I think it was the day before the Spurs game. You look at Harry Kane, the way his body's moving, he's obviously running, so he's turning to run. So of course your arm is going to be more in front of you because you're running. And then that's given offside. But then Foden's isn't given offside, and then you give Laporte's offside.
It's weird.
Where's the consistency?
Decisions been made.
This decisions made. I never understand some of these decisions that are given. So and also, where is it? The attacker should have the advantage, right? I feel that's what they changed it to.
I agree with that. Look, I think it's unfair to say your arms offside as an attacker, because naturally, when you're running for the ball, you're calling for the ball, you're going to put your arm out and say, here. It's a natural thing to run with your arm out to say guide the ball this way.
And also, you also can't score with your arm.
Yeah. So
again, That's
Maybe
another
that's why
thing.
it's one side.
But anyway, we could sit here and debate over whether or not things are offside, onside, VAR all day. Watford won, West Ham 4. West Ham with a very much needed win. They've been on a poor run of form, really. West Ham have recovered 12 points from losing positions in the Premier League this season, more than any other side. Even though West Ham haven't been, kind of at that top level in recent weeks, are they still on for maybe like a top 4 push? Or is it kind of like Europa League? That's where the level is at.
I was talking about this with Lewis, and I said to him, I still think top 4 is still on for them. Unfortunately, this is the one game I think I missed. I've seen the highlight, but I still think top 4 is on for them. It depends what Moyes wants to go with. I think they can challenge at both. He said Europa will be easier for West Ham. I'm not too sure. Maybe there's still a chance for them in the league they're a team that can take points off teams. Do you know what I mean? They can do it. They've been doing it. They had a great start. They had a little blip. They're getting results again. I think they can go for top 4. It's going to be hard, of course. If you've got Man United.
I think it's so. I think it's so open, the top 4, that kind of the top 4 race, whether it be Arsenal, Spurs, United, like you mentioned. I mean, Leicester. We also have to. I know that Leicester are not on a great run at the moment, but Leicester have been there the whole entire time in the last 2 seasons, so we can't discount them. Then you throw West Ham into the mixture as well. I think that kind of maybe David Moyes is right to kind of go through the Europa League route. I know that it's obviously a longer and tougher competition in the sense that you're playing more games, but these games, I think that maybe in like a one-off game here and there, maybe West Ham actually can win them.
The thing is, for me, I think if I'm looking at it as a neutral football fan, or even just football fan in general, no matter who you support, I think it makes the league way more exciting if West Ham can also add to that top 4 race, because it looks like clearly Man City is going to win the league. And if anyone's going to compete, it's only going to be Liverpool. So now we're looking at, now that's over. It feels like that's over already in January. We're thinking, right, the most exciting thing to happen now is top 4. We know it's getting relegated. Looks like very likely Newcastle, Norwich, and them man there. So we're thinking top 4 race. That's exciting. Could it be West Ham? Could it be Arsenal? Could it be Spurs? Could it be United? That's going to be the most exciting thing for the next few months. So if West Ham can keep getting points, that puts Arsenal fans on edge, United fans on edge, Leicester, Spurs. It's exciting.
Yeah, it is. And it's something that we haven't really had as well for like quite a few years, to have a proper top 4 race. And feel that last spot. So I'm here for it. I mean, Watford again, very inconsistent under Ranieri.
Yeah, could he get sacked?
Do you think they've actually improved?
No, could he actually get sacked?
Though?
No.
I mean, it's not out of the realms of possibility. I mean, we see Watford; they've done it before, sacked 2 managers in a season. But I mean, who are they going to bring in? Is it really going to make much difference?
It's true. What are Watford's expectations? What do they want to achieve every season? If he's staying up, then hopefully he can do that for them, and he's in a job.
I think that's what it is. I think it's staying up. Obviously, they came back up, this season. But again, they're one of those sides that go up and then come and go down and find it very difficult. And the way that they set their managers and things like that, again, I don't think it sets a very good precedent for, kind of like the squad, because you get into a rhythm of being under one manager, then you sack that manager after like 5-6 games, and you have to bring in another one, and they put their ethos on it. And I think that maybe if they had a little bit more stability, maybe that would actually help them and benefit them long term.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, we'll see what happens with Watford. Crystal Palace 3, Norwich 0, bouncing back from that loss to Spurs earlier in the week. Norwich just get battered everywhere they go.
I knew he was going to do that.
That really is a team that gets bad everywhere they go, whether home or away. Crystal Palace, though, have lost just once and scored 18 goals in their last 10 Premier League home games under Patrick Vieira. It was another good performance from Palace, another poor one from Norwich. What does Norwich have to do? What can Norwich do at this point? Are they just dead and buried now?
Yeah, I think so. Every time I watch them play, I just think this is sad. I just think you're just here to make up numbers, and it's not nice. I just wonder how the players feel after. Who wants to be in you want to be in the Premier League? You want to give it your best, whether you're a bottom of the table team or not. And to lose pretty much every week is, I don't know how they keep the mentality up. It's horrible. The fashion that they lose as well.
Do you think they did the right? Do you think they did the right thing though, sacking Farke and bringing in Dean Smith, or do you think they should have stuck with Daniel Farke, a guy that's been at Norwich for so long?
To this day, even when it happened, I'm sure I was with you when it happened, I don't understand why they got rid of him. What did they think was going to happen? They was going to bring a new manager in, they was going to finish 10th or 12th. I don't understand. They're at their level and they're happy with going back and up and down. Why did they get rid of him?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The thing is, when you have a chairman or a board that say that they're happy to be within the best 23 teams in England, doesn't really kind of fill you with much confidence and hope that Norwich, every time they do come up, that they're going to do anything.
That's the
and
most
it's a bit of a shame it's a shame if you're a Norwich fan. It is, because it's like a yo-yo like every single year, because you know they're going to come back up. But again, it's a bit like a team like a West Brom. What's the point of you coming back up if you're just going to go straight back down?
Where are you? Let's be having you.
We need to get Delia on that pitch. I need to see Delia back out there. But again, credit to Crystal Palace and credit to Patrick Vieira, who's doing a really amazing job, I think, at Crystal Palace, completely galvanised and changed that entire club from top to bottom. And
do you know what?
Here for it.
Maybe this is what's the word I'm saying? Unpopular opinion. Could be wrong here, but I'm going to go out and say that Crystal Palace has the most underrated squad in the league, because they have got, like, if we're talking squad depth for a team that's not a massive team, their level of, like, their quality of players on the bench and on the pitch. Like, I even forgot that moments that they had Edward. Like, do you know what I mean? He doesn't play consistently. Well, he does at the beginning of the season, but do you know what I mean? They've got players.
Yeah,
Zaha's
and also their
okay,
players
so
are young.
Edward. Yeah,
their players are young too, you know, and they've got so much room to build and stuff. And I think that is also a big credit to Patrick Vieira for what he's done, because we've watched Crystal Palace for many years under Roy Hodgson, and they've always been, you know, like, not really much to talk about in Crystal Palace. But he's changed his team, and it's giving us something to talk in, week out, you know, whether it's on the young players or, you know, the players that have been there for quite some time. They look like a much more together squad, and you know, you have something exciting.
You actually enjoy watching them.
You didn't have that before. I never got excited at the prospect of watching a Crystal Palace game, and apologies to Palace fans, but that's honestly how I felt. But now I enjoy watching them, and I look forward to seeing what they can do.
Yeah, same.
And also, you always back them. If you're playing against someone, whoever it is, you actually always lean towards the side of maybe they could go and get something out of a game where maybe beforehand you wouldn't have.
Yeah. Come on, the Palace.
Come on, the Palace. Right, finally this week. Yeah, Manchester United 3, Burnley 1. I mean, I have to say, United were absolutely awful in their game against Newcastle earlier this week. Terrible. Really poor. But they have bounced back against Burnley at home. Manchester United, they've taken 14 points in their last 6 games. They've won 4 and drawn 2 under Michael Carrick and Ralph Rangnick. 10 more than they managed under the last 6 under Solskjaer. So have you seen anything, particularly in this game, that you kind of thought there's been a bit of growth here?
No, but no, I'm being genuine. It's not. I didn't see a different type of performance. I just saw a Man United team that won a game they should be winning, and credit to them, because I don't understand what's been happening. Only Lord knows why they haven't been, like, the quality that they have on the pitch. The players they have, the names they have on the back of their shirts, they should be pulling results in every week. So against Newcastle and other teams where they haven't been doing so, you look at this fixture and you think, oh God, could Burnley get a 1-0 here? Could it be a 1-1? You just don't know what to expect. So the fact that they got the 3-1 win, a convincing win, is what they should be doing. And also, I saw a very interesting tweet on Twitter, like a fact that you've probably all seen already. But Lennon and Ronaldo are the only players in the Premier League to score in both 2005-06 season and 2021 season. How mad is that?
Really?
How mad? When I saw the tweet, it blew my mind. I was like, what? I started thinking, what players are still playing that was...
Yeah, that makes you feel proper old as well. Really old. But look, credit to Aaron Lennon. I mean, still doing the most, and I don't even know how old he is now. He's well into his 30s, you know, and can still produce a goal and still come on and change and try and change the game for Burnley. Didn't quite happen fully for them, but like you said, I think Manchester United, these are games that they absolutely should be winning. And as we saw against Newcastle, they really struggled earlier this week. So it's good for them to get 3 points under their belt, and hopefully, you know, well, hopefully not for me and you in the top 4 race. But yeah, I mean, I think it would be for United fans is something they can look forward to.
It's a better way for them to end the year, because
there'll be lots of changes.
It's a better way for them to end the year, because it hasn't been too positive for them in recent weeks. So at least they can end 2021 and be like, right, fix up, January window's coming up. Let's, you know, see what Ralph Rangnick can actually do with this squad. Even though they've already got players, I don't know what they want to do in January.
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. I think midfield is probably where they need to kind of strengthen the most. But we'll see. It's going to be an interesting 2022 for United, because as we know, Ralph Rangnick is, you know, poised to go upstairs. So whoever's going to be in charge at the start of next season, place your bets now.
Also,
right,
before we move on, before we move on, I've just seen Marlon's comment saying we have the best keeper in the world. David De Gea has been Man United's player of the season. If it wasn't for him, they could potentially be Norwich. No, I'm joking, not Norwich, but they could be really
exactly struggling. God knows where they'd be without David De Gea.
Yeah, because he has put out some
Absolutely, he's been the best thing about Manchester United the entire season, and the amount of games he's kept them in. You're absolutely right. So that was a very good shout out from Marlon. Right, okay, let's look at our team of the week. If we can get those up, please, and we can run through them.
Did you struggle? I struggled this week.
I really struggled as well. Really struggled. It took me ages to decide mine. This is my team. I think this is my team. I went with Fraser Forster in goal. Gray of Crystal Palace, Amati, filling in at centre back for Leicester, really good. Same as Luke Thomas, did really well against Liverpool. Who else? I can't even see. This is so small.
You've got
Lookman, Ward-Prowse. I can't see him.
Madison, McTominay.
James Maddison was so good the other day. I'm really happy to see James Maddison get back to his best and the form that he's been in, because there was a lot of talk about Maddison and earlier this season. I'm happy to see him doing it. I put McTominay in there again. I semi-regretted it, but I didn't want to change it. I'm just giving credit where it's due. And also Saka for a great week as well with that earlier game. And that was also another thing with this team, because I was trying to work out where we've cut off from team of the week and what games should be included.
I think we cut off on that one. I'll let you put him in there, but I think we cut off on that game.
Yeah.
He's not in this one, but
I think we did cut off on that one, but I put him in there anyway. Because otherwise there's other people I could have put in there. I also put St. Maximin in there. I put St. Maximin in there for that reason as well. And of course, Danny Welbeck for his late heroics. Right, let's have a look at your team, please.
Guys, so I'm going by the game week that just happened, the games that we literally just spoke about, the 5 games that we just spoke about. So I've gone for Schmeichel in goal, Kufal, Diaz, Amati, Cucurella, again, second week in a row for me. I think he's so underrated. Had a great game.
Cucurella was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Souček, Lallana, Welbeck, Lookman, and Foden. And that is who I've gone for. Gutted I didn't put any Crystal Palace players in there now that I look at that, because they had a nice 3-0 win. But those are the players that deserved it for me this week out of this game week. What do you reckon, guys?
Yeah, I think it was difficult to pick and where the cutoff was. So I gave it a mixture. But I'm glad you put Cucurella in there, because he
game week 21, I think.
Game week 21, the season is flying by. Right, now it's time to preview the games that are coming up over the next few days. Huge games kick us off in the new year. Arsenal take on Manchester City tomorrow, Saturday. Oh my God. Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Arsenal have lost their last 9 Premier League games against Manchester City. Last time they actually got anything out of that was a 2-2 draw in April 2017. And City have won each of their last 4 away league games by an aggregate score of 9-0. However, obviously, this Arsenal side are in a completely different kind of momentum and way that they're playing at the moment. Do you feel confident going into this game?
Yeah, I never feel confident going into a game against Man City, whether it's home or away. But the form that Arsenal have been on gives me some type of hope that when I look at how they played against Brentford and I look at the goals they let in against Leicester, I think, do you know what? We actually stand a chance this time. We've got a team that's, they're playing good, fluid football. There seems to be some type of cohesion in the team now. They're playing like a team. They celebrate together. They win together. And I'm just hoping that they keep that form going. Obviously, it may, I don't know, some fans see it as a disadvantage that the Wolves game was called off because it ruins the momentum. But some see it as, a positive. They get a little break in football.
Rest.
For some massive games they got coming up with Liverpool, Tottenham, other games in January as well. But Man City is going to be massive. Of course, Arteta's not there. He's got COVID again. He was the first manager, I think, or player, someone in the football to get it when it first broke out, and he's got it again. Damn. So he won't be there up against Pep. But Dave's saying Arsenal will get absolutely wrecked. That's the one thing I hope we don't. That's the one thing I'm convinced won't happen. Like when Liverpool beat, I think it was 4-0.
I agree. I don't think that will happen.
I don't think it will be, an annihilation, but it will be a big test, and it'll be good to see what Arsenal can get out of this, what they've learned from playing against bigger sides this season. Because we've got a young squad, and it's new to a lot of the players like Lokonga. Who else played against Liverpool? I think it was Tavares. If they're playing again, I don't know if they will be, what they can learn from the Liverpool mistakes up against another big team. So it'll be interesting what happens.
Yeah, it will. But I definitely agree with you. This is not probably going to be like a drumming. Yeah, I can't see that happen. I think that Arsenal have probably grown from those, previous losses and the way in which they did lose them. So should be a really good game. What's your prediction for this one?
Sorry, comment. Alex says there are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and Man City beating Arsenal. I'm so happy that we're the underdog, because if there's an upset at the Emirates tomorrow, it will be Pep. It will be Pep. Yeah, and I want it to be Pep.
It definitely. I'm really looking forward to that game. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good.
My prediction: what I want is a win. What I'll take is a draw, but it'll probably be like a Man City win. So I don't know what to predict. I don't want to predict this one. Do I have to?
You have to say something. City win, Arsenal win.
Draw. 2-2.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with the City win, but I think they'll play well. I think it'll be 2-0 City. So nothing too heavy.
How are people saying 5-1 City? Gosh. Let's hope not.
The disrespect. Right, Chelsea versus Liverpool, another huge game, Sunday the 2nd at 4:30 p.m. Liverpool are winless in their last 3 Premier League games in London this season. They've drawn 2 and they've lost 1. Chelsea haven't won their opening league game in any of the last 5 calendar years since 2016, weirdly enough. Clearly they don't like playing on New Year's Day. Yeah. But this one is a huge game for both sides, because both of them have been tipped for the title at some point this season. And as we spoke about earlier, both have kind of dropped away a little bit. Chelsea more so. It's tough. I think this has got a draw written all over it.
I think Liverpool win this one.
Do you?
Yeah, I know it's not convincing after they lost the other day, but that's not a regular thing. That's not a regular occurrence. That's just something that happened. What happens is Liverpool wins. They're back to full fitness. They've got a stronger squad. Chelsea are not. Chelsea are at a disadvantage in this game, and I think Liverpool have to win this game. Both teams have to win. Both teams need to win.
Yeah.
But I think to me it's Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if Liverpool lose.
I think this is a draw. I think this is, part of me wants to say 2-2.
No.
But I'm gonna go 1-1.
This is like a 2-1 Liverpool or a 2-0 Liverpool. I think Chelsea will score. But who have been their main goal scorers? Reece James, mate. And I'm joking.
Well, again, do you know what? It'll be really interesting to see if Lukaku is in the squad or in the lineup.
But is Thomas Tuchel and Arteta, will he punish his players for what's going on behind the scenes that's coming to light? Will he do that?
I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. What happens with it. But I don't know. There's clearly some unrest, and I think, as much as Lukaku's made his feelings known, I think Tuchel's also made his feelings known. So I don't know. Maybe he won't start, but there'll be all eyes on that and waiting to see if that happens. All right, Crystal Palace against West Ham. Sorry, that is on Saturday the 1st at 5:30. This is a tough one to call. West Ham. West Ham have been good. In the last game, but again they haven't been consistent. I don't know. Crystal Palace. I'm leaning towards Crystal Palace.
Are you?
Being at home. I am. Just the fact that they're at home, I'm leaning towards it.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from, but I think West Ham could nick this one. Because once they get going, that's it. West Ham are sometimes unplayable, depending on what West Ham decides to cut. Is Declan Rice available? No.
I don't know.
I know he wasn't available for the last. All right. I'm gonna say Crystal Palace 1, West Ham 2. A lot of people are saying draw. A lot of people are saying draw.
Yeah, they are saying draw, which I think is a good shout as well. But I'm actually going to back Palace on this one. I'm going to go Crystal Palace 2, West Ham 1 on this one. But I think it'll be a tight game.
Should be a good one.
Yeah, it should be. And
I can't really split them either way. Credit to both the managers, because this would never be a game that I'll be interested in watching in previous seasons. Crystal Palace catch it on Match of the Day.
Not at all. Like we said before, it's kind of completely changed how you're more now interested to watch certain teams because of the style of football they're playing, and again because of their managers. So like you said, credit to them. Watford versus Spurs, Saturday the 1st at 3 p.m. Watford have won just one of their last 17 league games against Spurs. They've drawn 6 and they've lost 10. Spurs have actually had an opposition player sent off in each of their last 3 Premier League games, which is quite interesting. Obviously, they couldn't capitalise the other day at Southampton. Yeah, they couldn't capitalise the other day at Southampton. But I guess it is an advantage of some kind. How do you see this one going? I mean, Watford, the way they've been playing, like we said before, they're just kind of a bit in the mud at the moment, aren't they?
2-0 Watford? No, surely this is a Spurs win. I know this is blasphemous that I say things like this on this channel, but I've got to keep it real.
That's better. Thank you, Kevin. For actually speaking some sense.
there's a lot of comments that obviously don't like Spurs because everyone's going for a Watford win. But this clearly, I think this is going to be like a 3-1, 3-0 Spurs, especially how Watford's been, their form's not been too great. Don't know why someone say Watford 5-0. I would love that, Mel. I would love if it's Watford 5-0.
Yeah.
But realistically,
Mel, I don't think that's going to happen, Mel.
what
Let's
are you going
be realistic.
for,
I'm going to go for Watford 1, Spurs 3, because I just can never back us not conceding. Even though we have actually played much better defensively, I just can't back us and trust us to just not concede in a minute. But yeah, I think this is Spurs win. I'd be very surprised if it wasn't. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Manchester United versus Wolves, which is on Monday the 3rd at 5:30. Wolves are winless in their last 10 away league games against Manchester United since a 1-0 win in February 1980. So that is a long time ago.
Very long time.
Really long time ago. But again, as we said, United have not been playing well. Wolves have had COVID issues. That's why your game was called off, right? It was to do with Wolves more so.
Yeah.
So we don't know what type of squad that Wolves are going to have. And that should be interesting to see. And that's again what makes the league quite interesting at the minute, because with COVID and injuries and things like that, you just don't know what squad's going to be able to be fit and put out. But again, Manchester United are at home, so I guess you'd lean more towards them in this game.
Yeah, not really. They haven't had they've lost quite a few home games this season. I'm gonna go 2-0 though. To Wolves.
2-0 United.
I'm joking.
Are you?
I'm joking, guys. Chill. United fans, chill. Can't call this. I can never call a Man United game. Only because their form's been so inconsistent.
It's so difficult.
I would expect them to win against Wolves. I'd expect them to win 2-0, 3-1. I would expect them to get goals against Wolves, but I cannot call it. I'm going to go in favour of United and say 1-0. But I would love
okay. Go 1-0. All right, I'm going to go 2-1 United. 2-1 United on this one.
Someone said a stinky 0-0 draw. I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah, take it. Right, Everton versus Brighton. Again, Brighton have played so well in that game against Chelsea. Everton looking to secure their first league double over Brighton since 1980-81. They last beat Brighton actually 2-0 victory at the Amex back in August. But Brighton have won more points thanks to goals scored in the 90th minute or later than any other Premier League side this season. That includes obviously Danny Welbeck's late goal the other day. Hard to call. What's your prediction on this one?
2-1 Brighton.
2-1 Brighton. Okay.
Yeah.
Away from home?
Yeah. Away from home. Okay. Second goals come in 90 plus 6.
Yeah. Everton again have had postponements because of COVID. So again, really depends how they come back into it. But yeah, I'm going to also back. I'm going to back Brighton as well. I think this will be 2-1 as well, and I'm also backing Brighton to get a late goal. Yeah, late goal again. Leicester versus Norwich has been called off. It's been postponed. I assume that is COVID orientated.
No, do you know what it is? Norwich need a break.
Versus Aston.
Norwich
need a break. They've just said, you know what, we've got COVID.
They've
just called COVID on. Right. Brentford versus Aston Villa. How'd you see that one unfolding? That's on Sunday the 2nd at 2 p.m.
Straight away, I see a draw. But my respect for Brentford is so high. I would love to see them get a result. And obviously, because got mates on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. But they, again, Brentford, they have struggled, I guess, since, kind of coming up and being like a bit of a, resurgent powerhouse that came up. And they've felt the effects of being in the Premier League. But Aston Villa, again, they'll want to get back to winning ways. Steven Gerrard, is he still out with COVID? I'm not entirely sure on that.
I can't keep up with COVID count.
I can't keep up as who's out, who's in, what's off, what's on. I'm just going along with it. Sorry, what was your prediction on that one?
1-0 Brentford.
1-0 Brentford. Okay. I'm going to back Aston Villa. I'm going to go 2-1 Aston Villa on that one. Leeds versus Burnley. How'd you see that one unfolding?
That's a game that's boring. That's a boring game.
That could be.
I'm just going to say
it's weird
0-0.
Because obviously we've always said how exciting Leeds are up until this season, but now we're just like
they've ruined it. I know they've got injuries as well, but I'm just going to say 0-0 for this one.
Yeah, 0-0 for this one. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to go 1-0 on this one. Southampton versus Newcastle. And if Newcastle play how they did the other day, they could actually start to maybe pick up some points.
Yeah.
Oh, God. This is
Newcastle to score first be 1-0 for a while. I think Southampton will equalise.
So you think draw?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go 2-1 Southampton on this one.
Ooh.
But I do agree with you. I think Newcastle will score first.
Yeah. They like to do that.
Yeah. All right. That is everything. So make sure, guys, that you head over to the Don Robbie Extra app or donrobbie.com for exclusive content. And of course, we will be back, I think, on Monday to obviously wrap up the week's goings on. But until then, obviously, Happy New Year to Pips and Happy New Year to everyone in the chat. And we look forward to more content in 2022. So whatever you're doing tonight, enjoy yourself and stay safe. Are we done?